Once, incidents of thefts had been on a rise in Vijayanagar. The king and his subjects were all worried about this. Guards and soldiers were posted everywhere and streets were patrolled by them all the time. King Krishnadevaraya was losing sleep over this problem. He called Tenali Raman and said,
Tenali Rama, you must have heard about the thefts that are occurring in our kingdom. You must find a way to stop them. You may take any number of soldiers as you need.
I need no forces. I will do this all alone. I assure you, I will solve this mystery in a week.
People started gossiping as to what one man like Tenali would do against robbers who were creating trouble. The next day, a strange news spread all over the kingdom.
How strange is it? Diamond merchant Seth Lakshmi Chand has learnt a magic chant from his guru. They say if you recite this chant, you may sleep without fear, leaving all your safe doors open. If that is true, we shall also learn that chant so that we could protect our belongings.
That night, Seth Lakshmi Chand recited the chant. Then he left his lockers open and went to sleep. When Seth Lakshmi Chand was fast asleep, two thieves entered his house. As it was dark, the thieves did not notice some black color sticking to their feet. They stole all the monies and jewels and left the place quietly. Then they entered Manilal's house. When Seth Lakshmi Chand got up and went to his room to check, the lockers were empty.
When it is known that thieves are troubling our kingdom, why did Seth Lakshmi Chand keep the doors of his house open like this?
At this time, Tenali Raman entered the court with two thieves caught red-handed.
Your Majesty, I have caught the thieves as I had promised. Send them to prison now.
Tenali Rama, how did you manage to catch them all by yourself?
Where there is a will, there is a way, Your Majesty. I planned this. Seth Lakshmi Chand did what I told him to do. He kept the doors of his treasury room open, and I spread this news all over the kingdom through my courtesans. I had applied fresh dark paint on the floor and walls of the room. So that night, as expected, when the thieves entered, their hands and feet were covered with the dark paint I had applied. And later they went to our ex-minister's house to hide over there. The black paint made it easier for me to identify them. That is how we came to know that our ex-minister was harboring them all this while.
Excellent! I am very pleased to hear all this. Our kingdom needs more intelligent people like you. Who's there? Arrest the ex-minister and put them all in prison.
My dear children, Tenali made Seth Lakshmi Chand say a small lie just to catch the thieves. You could also think wisely and act independently in such situations. Will you?
King Krishnadevaraya's court had many learned scholars and elderly advisors. One day, when the court gathered, an elderly scholar by the name Devapriyan said to the king,
Greetings, Your Majesty. I have served you for many years now. I have grown very old. I no longer will be able to come to your court. I would like to go back to my native village and live in peace with my family there.
It doesn't matter if you have become old. It is your knowledge that our kingdom requires. Knowledge never grows old. So kindly don't leave us.
No, Your Majesty. I am not even able to walk. or sit comfortably here. So please relieve me from your services.
As you wish. I relieve you from the services of this court. Treasurer, pay him his due respects and send him happily.
The king respected and liked the old scholar very much, so he missed him very greatly after his departure. The king stopped taking interest in royal functions or day-to-day activities of governing the kingdom. Tenali Raman noticed this change.
Captain, it has been a month since Tenali has attended our court. What is wrong with him? Your Majesty, there is no news from him at all. His house is also closed. It seems that Tenali has left our kingdom. I have sent parties throughout our kingdom to search for Tenali. What? Has Tenali Raman also left our kingdom? What wrong have I done? Why is God punishing me like this? Oh God, my heart aches very badly.
Your Majesty, don't worry. We will all pray for Tenali Raman's return. If you don't mind, please take a tour around the kingdom to feel a bit relaxed.
That seems to be a good suggestion. Make arrangements for my tour.
The king went for a walk on the river bank. As he was strolling, he looked at the clear blue water of the river. Then he saw a sage sitting on the river bank.
Ah, the river water looks so fresh and clear. The blue water steals my heart with its beauty. It makes me feel so relaxed and peaceful.
After a walk, the king returned to his palace. The next day he went to the river bank once again. The sage was present that day too.
Beautiful, lovely, the same water. Oh sage, why did you laugh at me now? Is anything wrong in admiring the river water?
Yes, Your Majesty.
What's wrong?
Your words, Your Majesty. The water you saw yesterday in the old river has already flown away. Today there is new and fresh water here. The beauty of the river lies in this fact. Similarly, coming and going of people in our lives is a natural process. But their departure does not stop our life. Then why should we be feeling so sad for your old scholarly advisor who has left the royal court? Think, Your Majesty. Think about what I have said now.
I agree, O sage, but Tenali, who's so young and so dear to me, has left me alone. With your divinely powers, can you find his whereabouts for me?
Sure I can. I can bring back your Tenali right in front of your eyes now, but only if you promise to do me a favor. Will you do it?
What do you want? 10,000 gold coins? You may take all you want, but I want my Tenali Raman back.
Why does this sage need gold coins? All I need is that you should govern this kingdom well without any worries. Will you promise this to me, Your Majesty?
Tenali Rama, I've learned a true lesson for life. Thanks to you, you're indeed my true friend.
Dear children, do not regret on what is gone. Think properly and plan well for your future. This will surely make you succeed in life.
The courtiers in King Krishnadevaraya's court were all jealous of Tenali Raman's popularity. They were plotting all the time to get even with him. King Krishnadevaraya knew that the courtiers were trying to poison his mind against Tenali Raman, so he paid no heed to them. But the courtiers insisted. They repeated the words against Tenali before the king every day, and after some days the king thought that there should be some truth in their saying. The next day in the royal court, when Tenali Raman arrived, King Krishnadevaraya asked him,
Tenali, I'm getting many complaints that you're fooling the people of our kingdom and collecting money from them. What do you have to say for your defense?
Your Majesty, do you also believe in them?
Yes, I do. And if you say you're innocent, prove it.
Tenali Raman felt very hurt and insulted by the king's words. He left the royal court silently. The next day, as the royal court session was about to begin, a soldier entered. He held a letter in his hand which he handed over to the king.
Your Majesty, greetings. I have served you as your loyal minister for many years now, but today I face false allegations. The only way to prove my innocence would be to give my life away. So I shall do that.
Why? Why? Was death the only way to prove your innocence, Tenali?
Tenali was one of your most loyal ministers. To have suspected him was one of our grave mistakes.
After he had finished, another got up and the next one. So everyone talked about Tenali. Tenali was standing in the crowd inside the royal court in disguise. As soon as he heard them praising him, he removed his false beard and ran to the king.
Greetings, Your Majesty.
Tenali? Tenali! Thank God you're back.
Yes, Your Majesty. All your courtiers have spoken good of me. Isn't this a good enough proof of my innocence?
Tenali Rama, you're a great man and a loyal minister. It is my fault to have suspected you.
Tenali Raman was happy and saw that all the jealous courtiers had hung their heads in shame.
My dear children, if you are sincere and honest all your life, you will be appreciated by one and all. So be good and do good, will you?
Incidents of thefts and small disputes had been seen arise in Vijayanagar kingdom. The king was confused. A discussion about the situation in the kingdom was held in the royal court. At last, the king decided to meet Swami Durmananda as per the minister's advice. Swami Durmananda had spent many years meditating in the Himalayas. The next day, King Krishnadevaraya, along with his royal ministers, left for Swami Durmananda's ashram. They bowed before the Swamiji. The Swami looked at the king with deep, penetrating eyes and said,
Oh, King, you have come to me at the right time. Otherwise, your kingdom would have been destroyed forever.
Swamiji, tell me what should I do?
Listen carefully. God will now speak to you from that room.
Oh, King! Kneel before Swami Durmananda. He is the only one who can save you and your kingdom. Serve him all that you want. All your fears will vanish.
Tenali Raman could not believe all that he had heard. He looked in the direction of the room in suspicion.
Your Majesty, before you give any offering, let me first go inside the prayer room and meditate for some time.
As soon as Tenali entered the room, Swami Durmananda started blinking in fear. Then suddenly, everybody heard a voice.
Oh, King! Listen to me carefully. Swami Durmananda sitting in front of you is a big cheat. He's trying to cheat you all. Beware of him.
The king stood in surprise. Just then, Tenali emerged out of the room, holding a cheat in his hand.
Your Majesty, the divine forecast you heard was coming from his mouth only. I threatened him and made him tell us the truth. I made him say the second forecast too.
Is that so? Hey, who are you disguising yourself as a Swami? Tell me, or you'll be put to death.
Your Majesty, please forgive me. I am neighboring country spy.
Soldiers, lock them up in prison. Tenali, you have saved our kingdom from our enemies. Here is your reward.
My dear children, you should believe in God, but be careful from those people who cheat in the name of God.
Once, some labourers were digging up the grounds of Tirumalapuram at the outskirts of Vijayanagar kingdom. While digging, they came across the ruins of some old temple. They dug further and it was confirmed that earlier it was an ancient Vishnu temple. This finding was informed to the king. When King Krishnadevaraya heard about this, he went to see the place along with Tenali Raman and another minister. He saw the beautiful idol of Lord Vishnu.
Tenali Rama, there should have been a very big Vishnu temple here. It should have been buried as the time passed by.
Your Majesty, Vishnu is the king of wealth. An ancient idol of Lord Vishnu has been found in our kingdom. This means that our kingdom will prosper much more than now.
Well said, Tenali. Minister,
Your Majesty,
make all arrangements to build a huge Vishnu temple at this place. Let there be beautiful gardens all around the temple.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Soon, the work began and the surroundings were cleared up. The ancient ruined temple was repaired. The ancient temple now shone with a new bright glow. One day, King Krishnadevaraya visited the temple along with Tenali Rama and the other minister. As the king entered the temple area, he looked around the garden.
The temple is wonderful, but there's something missing in the garden.
Here they are, Your Majesty. All kinds of flowers from rose to jasmine, and all sorts of fruits from mango to banana to offer to the Lord are here.
A lot may be here, but something is missing, which I really expected.
The minister could not understand the king's desire. He got confused. At this point, Tenali Rama interrupted.
O king, the garden that you desire has been planted on the other side of the temple. Kindly come with me to see it.
The king and the other ministers followed Tenali Rama. Tenali Rama pointed out to a tulsi plant planted in a pot. On seeing this, the king became happy.
Tenali, you're very clever. No Vishnu temple is complete without a holy tulsi plant. You've cleverly planted one here. Good. I appreciate you.
Thanks, Your Majesty. It is my duty.
The minister was ashamed of himself for not knowing such a simple thing.
My dear children, small things may not have great importance in some places. Will you also plant the tulsi in your house and benefit from its herbal nature? Will you?
Once, a rich businessman came from Iran to visit Vijayanagar. He was welcomed and treated honorably by the king.
Oh, Sheikh, I'm very glad to hear that my country's fame has reached the Middle East as well. You may stay in our royal guest house as our guest and enjoy our tasty food too.
As you please.
Minister, make all the necessary arrangements for this businessman's stay here.
Yes, Your Majesty.
The businessman was served with all kinds of tasty food prepared specially by the royal cook. The businessman enjoyed the hospitality.
Sir, this is a special sweet dish by name Rasagulla. This is one of my king's favorite dishes too. I have taken special precautions to prepare this for you, sir. Kindly have this.
I don't want this Rasagulla. Instead, bring me the root of this Rasagulla.
The royal cook stood confused. He did not know about any root of rasgulla. The royal cook explained this to the king in privacy.
What? The roots of Rasagulla? I've never heard of or seen a thing like roots of Rasagulla ever in my lifetime.
It's the same with me, Your Majesty.
That Sheikh is our royal guest. It's our honorable duty to provide him with all that he asks for. Okay, you may go now. I'll ask the courtiers all about the roots of Rasagulla.
The next day in the royal court,
Courtiers, do any one of you know where to find the roots of Rasagulla? Why are you laughing? Our guest is anxious to eat it. If any one of you know, tell me.
Your Majesty, there is no root for Rasagulla. I think he's playing a trick on us.
If you don't know, how can you call it a trick? What, Tenali Rama? Don't you also know what it is?
I know, Your Majesty. Rasagulla has a root, and I have seen it.
Tenali, there is a limit to your lies. It is very funny to hear your words.
I will arrange for the roots of Rasagulla. Tomorrow, I will bring the roots of Rasagulla for the Sheikh. For that, I need a silver bowl and a sharp knife, Your Majesty.
I'll give you all that you need. But all of us are curious to know how the roots of Rasagulla look like. So, I'll invite the Sheikh tomorrow to the royal court and make him eat it here.
Yes, Your Majesty. Sir, I think this Tenali has gone mad. And our king also strangely supports his foolishness.
Why bother? If Tenali doesn't bring it, Tenali Raman will be punished.
the next day in the royal court, the king came along with the businessman and sat upon his throne. Tenali Raman entered the court with a bowl in his hand. It was covered with a piece of muslin cloth.
Tenali Rama? Let me first have a look at the roots of Rasagulla.
I am sorry, Your Majesty. Our guest must first see it and eat it.
Tenali removed the muslin cloth and held the bowl to the businessman. There was sugarcane inside the bowl. The businessman took it in his hand and ate it contentedly.
Wah, amazing. This is what I asked for.
Tenali, did you give sugarcane pieces as roots of Rasagulla?
Yes, Your Majesty. All sweets are made out of sugar. Where does sugar come from? It comes from sugarcane. Root means the source. So, the source of this sweet Rasagulla is sugarcane.
Excellent, Tenali. I appreciate your wise thinking. You have satisfied our guest and saved the name of our kingdom, as you've been always doing.
Dear children, we should always provide our guests with all that they ask for. Think wisely and your hospitality will be appreciated.
One day, when the royal court was being held, a trader presented himself in the court. He had a large metal box with him.
Your Majesty, I am here to seek help from you. O King, I am a trader. I have planned to go on a pilgrimage to North India. I have all my ancestral wealth inside this box here. I request you to have this under your safe custody, Your Majesty.
Okay, done. Who's there? Weigh this metal box
and bring it back to me. Okay, we'll take care of your property. My wishes for your peaceful and happy journey.
10 kgs, Your Majesty.
Who's there? Keep this in the royal treasury.
Your Majesty, the law says that only the royal wealth must be kept in the royal treasury. Hence, you may give this box to our trustworthy Tenali Raman to keep it safely in his house, Your Majesty.
I think that's good. Tenali Rama, is that okay with you?
As you please, Your Majesty.
After a month, the trader came to the royal court.
Your Majesty, I am back from my pilgrimage. The trip was good. I am now here again to receive my box, Your Majesty.
Tenali, get the box back and hand it over to him.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Tenali Raman went home to get the box. When he reached home and lifted the metal box, he was shocked. The box weighed very less than its weight when it was weighed for the first time. Tenali understood now that the trader had tried to cheat the king. Tenali observed the metal box carefully for some minutes. Then he hurriedly reached the royal court.
Your Majesty, the ancestors of this trader have entered my house. They are not allowing me to bring this box here, Your Majesty.
What? My ancestors? You bloody cheat! Don't play tricks, Your Majesty! Tenali Raman is cleverly trying to cheat me of my wealth.
Yes, Your Majesty. He's trying to cheat us all.
Tenali, all of us will go to your house right now. If you're proved a liar, you will have to face severe punishment.
Yes, Your Majesty.
So the king and the courtiers, the trader, all went to Tenali's house. The king saw that ants were going in and out of the box.
Open the box, Tenali. Oh, what is this? It is only sugar. Trader, is this your ancestral wealth? Lock him up in prison for cheating me.
Forgive me, Your Majesty. These two ministers here asked me to play this dirty trick to get Tenali punished.
Lock these two also in prison.
Please forgive us, Your Majesty. Don't punish us. Please don't.
Tenali Rama, how did you figure out that there is only sugar in that box? Tell me your secret.
There were always ants around the box, Your Majesty. If the box were filled with precious gems and stones, then there is no need for ants to be there. Moreover, the weight of the box was reduced as the ants ate away the sugar. To prove this to you, I call the ants as his forefathers.
Tenali, I'm amazed by your knowledge. Please have this pearl necklace as a token of my love.
Thanks, my lord.
So, dear children, did you see what happens when we try to cheat others? So, children, never cheat other people.
Once, King Krishnadevaraya went to Cuttack. There, he reached the banks of the river Narmada. A great saint was staying there.
If the saint can float in air with his power of meditation, he should definitely be a great and a powerful saint. I should seek his blessings. O great saint, I am Krishna Devaraya, the king of Vijayanagara. Your power has impressed me. Kindly shower your blessings upon me.
Oh King, is everything okay with you? Fine? Are you happy now?
Yes, Guruji, but...
The warriors of Vijayanagar have conquered the neighboring states by defeating them in the battles recently. Though this has brought about name and fame, the losses have been plenty in lives as well as money. This has caused you great pain. This pain has been prevailing over your victory. What? Isn't this your state now?
Yes, Guruji. Everything that you said is true. My kingdom is in grave difficulty now. Please give me a solution to this situation.
O King, take this bowl with you. Go to the holy river Narmada. Fetch the bowl full of water from the river.
As you wish, Guruji. Guruji, what should I do with this water?
Take this back home. Sprinkle it in your treasury. Your treasury will be filled with enormous wealth. May the Lord bless your kingdom with more name and fame.
Thanks a lot, Guruji.
But one condition. Not a single drop of water must be spilt anywhere on your way back.
I will do it, Guruji. Who will be capable of carrying this bowl of water without spilling to Vijayanagara? The ministers and commanders are not so responsible. I guess Tenali Raman should be perfect for the job. I'll hand over this responsibility to him. Commander?
Yes, Your Majesty.
Commander, we are supposed to take this bowl of water to Vijayanagara without spilling any drop. Ask Tenali to do it.
Your Majesty, Tenali is not capable of carrying out this job. He has been sleeping for long now. How will he be able to carry this water to Vijayanagara without spilling it?
Is that so? Is he sleeping? Let's go and see. Tenali, what is this?
My lord, did you call me?
I came here to give you a major responsibility. But you're sleeping.
Your Majesty, when I have no responsibility, I go to sleep. But when you give me some responsibility, my eyes never close.
Tenali, I wonder if you'll be able to carry this bowl of water without spilling a single drop on the ground. If you spill even a single drop of water, our kingdom will be in great trouble.
So be it, my lord. I'll take care of it.
I am sure Tenali Raman will definitely spill this water out. Even if he doesn't, I will make him do it. He should be punished by the king.
Oh, Commander, you need brains to think. So don't waste your time. The king has already left. Go follow him now.
I know. You better be careful.
The king was sitting in the chariot, but his thoughts were fully concentrated on the bowl. Tenali Raman was following the king in another chariot. The king was worried only about the bowl of water. The commander who was riding the chariot of Tenali deliberately went on a stony and uneven path so that the water would definitely spill. But Tenali was not at all bothered about this. He was fast asleep. As soon as they reached the palace,
Commander, ask Tenali to bring the bowl immediately.
Your Majesty, our dear Tenali Raman. Take a look at his plight.
The king and commander reached Tenali's chariot. The king found Tenali sleeping peacefully in his chariot. He grew very angry.
Tenali Rama!
My lord!
Tenali, what have I said and what are you doing? What happened to the responsibility I gave you? Where is the bowl? You have ruined the good fortunes of our kingdom.
Your Majesty, I know it is very difficult to carry a bowl of water without spilling while coming in a chariot. So I have placed the bowl in this leather bag and have tied it tightly. And the water is here safe as you handed it over to me.
Tenali Rama, your intelligence is unmatched. And I too have become very short-tempered. I'm very sorry if I have hurt you by my words.
Your Majesty, there is nothing new in you scolding me. At the end of the day, you always land up appreciating me. This is known to everyone in our kingdom. Don't change this tradition.
Dear children, what did you learn from the story? Tenali has proved that you should play while you play and work while you work. Only then will you be respected by everyone.
There was a courtier named Sundar in King Krishnadevaraya's court. He had once felt insulted by Tenali Raman's words, so he wanted to take revenge. He realized that even the royal priest was jealous of Tenali. This common feeling of jealousy led to a strong bond between Sundar and the royal priest, and Sundar used to talk against Tenali. As the royal priest listened to all the words of Sundar, he started to talk against the king too.
Guruji, Tenali Raman is a big cheat. And our king also believes whatever he says. He should be a big fool.
Tenali is very clever. His actions are very intelligent. That is why the king likes him very much. Moreover, what can we do about that?
You're the royal priest of our kingdom, but he doesn't even respect you.
I have noticed that too.
It is not enough if you are aware. We should inform this to our king and make Tenali look like a fool.
True. You may complain to the king, but it is not good for my position.
Okay then, I'll try to change king's mind by saying bad things about Tenali Raman. It is more than enough if you remain silent.
Do as you wish.
Your Majesty, Tenali Raman is a very dishonest man. He's fooling the people of our kingdom and collecting bribe from them.
Minister, if you want to complain about anyone, do so in the royal court. I'll inquire immediately. Now you may leave.
The minister left feeling ashamed, but the king was deep in thought.
This Sundar has been giving a number of complaints about Tenali Raman nowadays. Maybe it is true. Tomorrow I'll inquire about this at the royal court.
The next day, when the royal court gathered, the king called Tenali.
Tenali, I have been hearing a series of complaints against you. Further, I also hear that you're speaking ill about me. Is it true?
Your Majesty, I cannot say anything about this now. I need a few days' time.
Then, until you give me an answer, you need not attend the royal court.
As you say, Your Majesty.
Sundar and the royal priest felt very happy on seeing Tenali leaving the court. That night, Tenali took the king to the royal priest's house. They hid behind a window and heard the conversation between the royal priest and Sundar.
Guruji, our king seems to be very innocent. He has believed all that I've told him about Tenali Rama. Just wait and watch. In a few days, I will throw Tenali Rama out of this kingdom.
The royal priest did not join in, but he did not stop Sundar from talking either. The king now understood Sundar's plans. He left the place.
Your Majesty, do you realize now this is a trick to destroy me?
Yes, Tenali, but I feel that the royal priest is being led away from the path of virtue by Sundar. You must do something to save the innocent priest from Sundar's bad influence.
Sure, Your Majesty. I will take care of it. Don't worry. Just give me some more time for it.
One day, Tenali Raman held a grand feast at his house. He invited the royal priest and Sundar. At the function, Tenali went to sit beside Sundar. He then looked at the royal priest sitting on a chair some distance away. Tenali pretended to whisper some secret in Sundar's ears. Now, the royal priest grew suspicious.
What secret is this Tenali telling to Sundar? Is it something to do with me?
Oh Sundar, do not tell the secret to anyone at all.
What secret did Tenali tell you?
He said nothing. He just murmured. That's all.
The royal priest grew suspicious of Sundar. Sundar was always speaking against the king and Tenali. But today, he is not telling me even a single secret he shared with Tenali. Hereafter, I should not be friendly with him. With these thoughts, the royal priest left the place and he also left Sundar's friendship.
Welcome, Tenali. You have separated the royal priest and Sundar with some master plans. Thanks a lot.
I did nothing much, Your Majesty. I invited both of them to my house and created a misunderstanding between them. This misunderstanding itself broke their friendship. The royal priest lost his faith in Sundar and left him. That's it.
Dear children, do you understand that bad friendship leads to our destruction? So be careful while choosing your friends.
One day, King Krishnadevaraya was attending the royal court. It was drizzling outside. The monsoon had recently arrived. He was enjoying the day while listening to the pitter-patter of the rain and the sound of the thunder. Just then, the king expressed a wish. He said he wanted to celebrate that year's monsoon festival with great pomp and show. He wanted to honor and give some award to the most talented artist in the kingdom. There was a discussion about who would be qualified to receive the Best Artist Award. A courtier said,
Your Majesty, this year we can give the award to our royal court artist Velappar.
Your Majesty, this time around we must search for a true artist and honor him.
What do you mean by a true artist?
Your Majesty, a true artist does not create his work so as to please others. He wants to express himself through his creation. I am aware of such an artist, Your Majesty.
The king wanted to meet the sculptor. The next day, the king and Tenali Raman rode in the chariot and went to the forest. They reached the Black Hill. Inside, the cave was full of many statues. The sculptor was not aware that someone had entered the cave and was watching him. He was busy with his work. The king approached him and asked,
Oh my good man, whose statue is this?
My lord, it's the rain goddess, admiring the beautiful clouds and lovely drizzle and enjoying her own creation.
The king admired the wonderful statues once again. He felt that this sculptor was the right person to receive the award. The next day, the sculptor was invited to the royal court and was awarded the prize. The king honored Tenali for his choice of a true artist.
Dear children, do your work sincerely. You will be definitely recognized and appreciated one day.
Once, for some weeks, King Krishnadevaraya had been solemn and sad. He seemed to be lost in his own thoughts all the time. All the courtiers noticed this and were worried. They had discussions to bring the king to his normal routine.
Your Majesty, let us have a music and drama festival in our kingdom.
Or shall we perform a ritual yajna for the kingdom's prosperity?
Your Majesty, I think we should hold on display our army skills and artillery.
When all of them were speaking, Tenali Raman sat silently in his chair.
What, Tenali Rama? Won't you suggest something for me?
Your Majesty, today morning I saw the most beautiful flowers on earth. If you wish, you can see them too.
If that's so, I'd love to see them.
So the king, the commander-in-chief, and some courtiers accompanied Tenali Raman. Soon they reached a large open ground where many children were playing. The king saw all this and went near the children. He started to play with them, forgetting that he was the king. He enjoyed with the children. He played with them all day long. The ministers and Tenali Raman felt happy to see the king.
Tenali, sitting amidst children makes one feel like a child. Isn't it, Tenali Rama? This pleasure is uncomparable. This makes me forget all my worries.
It's true, Your Majesty. Playing with children gives us inner peace. It is like praying to God. That is why people say that children have the qualities of God.
But Tenali, you're supposed to show me the most beautiful flowers on earth. Where are they?
Didn't you see them just now? These children are Earth's most beautiful flowers.
You're right, Tenali. These children have washed away all my worries. Now, I'll visit these children every month. Minister, provide these children with all the toys that they need.
Dear children, you are the earth's most beautiful flowers. Everybody loves you. Be proud and make people happy around you.
Long ago, there was a great kingdom named Vijayanagar. King Krishnadevaraya ruled this kingdom. He was a very good king. He wanted his people to be happy. He took great care to make each and every decision perfect. He had many wise ministers and brave soldiers in his court. Tenali Raman was one of the most popular ministers in the court. He was a man of great wit and humor. He was also a poet and a very wise advisor to the king. But all the courtiers were jealous of him. That day, the court had gathered. All the courtiers eagerly waited for the king to speak. King Krishnadevaraya posed a question to his courtiers.
Courtesans of my kingdom and to all those present here, When I was a small child, I heard of a place. It was said to be the most beautiful place and the most peaceful place. When I asked what that place was, people told me that was heaven. Now, I would like to see that place. So can any one of you tell me where is that place now? Tenali Rama, don't you know where that place is?
Your Majesty, I know where heaven is located. But to show it to you, I need 10,000 gold coins and 2 months' time, Your Majesty.
Stop it! Tenali never speaks without thinking. Tenali, as you asked for, I'll give you 10,000 gold coins and 2 months' time to find it. But at the end of 2 months, if you fail to do so, you'll have to face severe punishment. Do you agree?
As you say, Your Majesty.
Two months passed by. The king was angry with Tenali since he did not come to the court.
What is this? Hasn't Tenali come to the court today also?
Here I am, Your Majesty.
Have you found the place which I asked you to find? So when are you going to show it to me?
I have found it, Your Majesty. Tomorrow I will show it to you. Be prepared to see heaven.
The next morning, King Krishnadevaraya, Tenali Raman, and a small royal group left for the place. Tenali Raman led them to a beautiful forest.
Your Majesty, we shall rest here for some time and then proceed to see heaven.
That seems to be a good idea. And I'm very much pleased by the beauty of this place too. Soldiers, arrange for our stay here. Minister, I'm loving my stay here. It is a very beautiful and a peaceful place. Only because of Tenali, I got a chance to come here. But why wasn't I informed about this place ever before?
Your Majesty, I assume that you would have already seen this place. But Your Majesty, Tenali Raman promised to show you heaven, is it not so? What happened to that, Your Majesty?
You're right. Where is Tenali Raman? I haven't seen him from yesterday.
I don't think he will turn up, Your Majesty. You have already given him a bag full of gold coins.
No loose talks. Go in search of him.
Your Majesty, look there. There is Tenali Rama.
Your Majesty, first have these mangoes. And then I will tell you something.
These mangoes taste great. Where did you find these mangoes, Tenali Rama? Heavenly. Truly heavenly. But Tenali, weren't you supposed to show me heaven? Where? Where is it?
Your Majesty, this beautiful nature, greenful pastures, very cold breeze, colorful and dancing flowers, a mild drizzle, delicious fruits. Is heaven greater than all these things? When God has given us so many great things, much greater than heaven, why should we think about heaven that does not exist? Think about it, my lord.
Indeed, Tenali. These movements are truly heavenly. But what did you do with the 10,000 gold coins?
Your Majesty, is it enough if this place alone is like heaven? What about our Vijayanagar Empire? Don't you want that to be like heaven? So I have bought some seeds and samplings to be planted all over Vijayanagar so that the people of Vijayanagar experience heaven in our very own country's backyard.
You've done a good job, Tenali. If not for you, I would have never understood that heaven is in our own hands.
My dear children, do you understand that our nature is heaven? plant trees, and be happy in this heaven.
The king was very worried because Tenali Raman had not been attending the royal court for the last 1 month. The king sent his army in search of Tenali Raman, but they couldn't find him anywhere.
Your Majesty, we could not find Tenali. Okay, there's no use searching for him. If he were here at this crucial hour, it would have been very helpful. But it's okay. Look for people who are potential suspects and arrest them immediately.
Yes, my lord.
As King Krishnadevaraya was sitting worried about Tenali and the thieves, the neighboring country's king gathered a troop consisting of 5 members. He gave them all black cloaks to wear. He ordered them to create chaos in Vijayanagar and destroy the peace of that kingdom. As King Krishnadevaraya's soldiers were on rounds in the forest, this 5-member troop came there and were caught by them. The soldiers presented them in the royal court. King Krishnadevaraya angrily said,
So these are the ones creating trouble in our kingdom. Remove your mask. Let me see the faces of these culprits. Tenali, is it you? Are you the leader of this gang?
Your Majesty, when I was away this 1 month, I had been to King Marthandam's palace in disguise. I have gathered evidence to show you that he is not your friend but your enemy. He has sent a gang covered in black cloaks to destroy the peace of our kingdom. Unknowingly, he has made me the head of the gang and sent me here. And you know what happened next.
Tenali, you found out the cunning plans of our neighboring king and saved our kingdom from him. For this good deed, I give you 4 acres of land as a reward.
Thanks, Your Majesty.
Dear children, you can escape from any difficult situation by acting cleverly.
One day, a minister from King Krishnadevaraya's court came to visit him.
What's the matter, minister?
Your Majesty, Tirubangi Baba, who has meditated in the Himalaya for many years, has now come here to glorify our kingdom. I would like you to meet him as he is a very powerful saint and will fulfill all your wishes.
Sure, I'll meet him tomorrow. Make all arrangements. Send a message to Tenali Raman also.
Yes, Your Majesty.
The next day, the king, along with his accompaniments, left the palace to meet the saint. The saint had a long beard and hair. He had a sacred pot of water in one hand and a sacred chain in the other. The king bowed respectfully to the saint. The saint looked at the king and exclaimed loudly,
"O king, beware! There is an enemy who is around you. He is trying to assassinate you."
What are you saying, Swami?
Don't worry. O king, do you wish to know who your enemy is?
Yes, Swamiji.
Look at this black box. This black box is filled with my divine powers. If you open it, you will see your enemy's face inside it.
Give it to me, Swami. I want to see my traitor.
But one condition. First, you must take the holy ashes from the box and apply it on your forehead. Only then you will be able to see your enemy.
Your Majesty, just a moment. Before you open this box, I have another box over here. I want him to open this box. Only then will he realize what your powers are.
Swamiji, what happened to you? Why has your face turned pale?
He is not a saint, Your Majesty. He is a cheat. The box has no divine powers. It is a plot to kill you. It has a poisonous powder. If you had applied it on your forehead, you would have died.
Your Majesty, please forgive me. I am a spy from the neighboring country. I have been asked to do so.
Arrest him and throw him into the dungeon. Tenali, with you on my side, no one can harm me or our kingdom. I have a small doubt. What was there in the black box which you gave to that cheat?
A slip which said, "You cheater, your accomplice has already been caught."
Dear children, there are all kinds of people around us. You should be able to differentiate between the good and the bad and beware of those people.
For many days, Tenali Raman did not attend the royal court. King Krishnadevaraya was worried about him. He was missing a close friend and advisor whose help he always needed. Then the king thought that maybe Tenali Raman was ill, so the king sent a man to find out about Tenali.
Your Majesty, I had gone to Tenali Raman's house. His wife told me that he has been going away early in the morning every day. She has no idea where he goes.
Hearing this, King Krishnadevaraya grew thoughtful.
Ask Tenali Raman to present himself tomorrow in the royal court. If he doesn't, he will face severe punishment.
I will do as told, Your Majesty.
The next morning, Tenali Raman was present in the royal court.
What is the cause for your long absence from the royal court? Will you come only if I send a soldier to call upon you?
Your Majesty, look at the brand new garments that Tenali Raman is wearing. It seems that he has used illegal measures to earn this money, Your Majesty.
Tenali Raman got up from his seat and carefully took out a velvet-covered book. He presented the book to the king.
Tenali, where did you get this book from?
Your Majesty, I came to know that a cunning person had secretly taken this book. I had to look for him everywhere, and this has taken me such a long time to find him out. I have brought back this book to the kingdom without his knowledge.
Thank you, Tenali. For recovering the lost history of this Vijayanagara, I present you with 1,000 gold coins as your reward.
The ministers and all the others kept looking at Tenali with jealous eyes.
Dear children, you reap what you sow. So try to be good in all your deeds and you will definitely be rewarded.
Victory, victory, glorious victory! King Krishnadevaraya's magnificent victory! Vijayanagara's tremendous victory! Victory, victory, glorious victory! King Krishnadevaraya's magnificent victory! Vijayanagara's tremendous victory!
Once, King Krishnadevaraya had conquered Orissa state and returned victoriously to Vijayanagar. The whole kingdom was lit up and people gathered to welcome their king. The royal court gathered to celebrate the victory.
My dear ministers, I am extremely happy on this day. This victory is a very special victory. Hence, we need to celebrate this. What shall we do?
Your Majesty, in remembrance of this, we shall have a victory pillar in the kingdom's capital. It shall have some of the best carvings on it.
It seems to be a very good idea. Immediately ask a royal sculptor to start working on the victory pillar.
As per the king's orders, the work began for the victory pillar. The sculptor worked day and night to make the pillar a beautiful one. Some days later, on an auspicious day, the king inaugurated the victory pillar in the kingdom.
Dear people and my ministers, I have erected this pillar as a symbol of our victory. This pillar should be respected by everyone and this place should be kept clean always.
As you say, Your Majesty.
Good. Our sculptor Sundara Varman has created the most delicate carvings on his pillar. I am going to present him with any gifts that he wishes for. Sculpture, ask what you want.
Your Majesty, you have given me this wonderful opportunity. I am pleased with what you have given me already. It is enough. I do not ask for anything else.
Don't say such words. You should definitely take something, at least for my sake.
As the king insisted, the sculptor held the empty bag in front of the king.
O king, take this bag and fill it up with the most valuable thing in this world.
The most valuable things? Diamonds or gemstones? I'll give you anything that you ask for. Because nothing matches your brilliance at work.
Your Majesty, all the things that you mention has a certain value in this world at large. What I ask for is something more valuable than all these. If you could find it and present it to me, I will definitely accept it.
The king looked confused. No one else could guess what he was asking for.
Okay, I think Tenali is the right person to answer this question. But
since he's on
not
leave
here,
today,
so you can come to the court tomorrow and I'll present you with the most valuable thing that you have asked for.
Yes, Your Majesty.
The next day, a servant rushed to Tenali Rama's house and told him about the situation the king was facing and asked him to come to the court. While the king, the sculptor and the ministers were waiting, Tenali Rama entered the royal court.
Tenali, this great sculptor has asked us to gift him with the most valuable thing in the world, and you should tell what it is.
I have heard all that has happened, Your Majesty. Don't worry. Here, sculptor, Give me that bag.
The sculptor handed over the bag. He tied up the mouth of the empty bag and handed it over to the sculptor.
Sculptor, here. Inside this bag is the most valuable thing in the world you asked for. Please accept it.
Thanks a lot. I leave, Your Majesty.
The king wondered why the sculptor had thanked Tenali and left the court without speaking a word after receiving an empty bag.
Tenali Rama, how did the sculptor, who refused to take precious gems and diamonds, take an empty bag from you?
That's not an empty bag, Your Majesty. It is filled with the pure and invaluable air of Vijayanagara, ruled by the most victorious king Krishna Devaraya. O Lord, there is no human being who can survive without air. That is why the sculptor accepted air as the most valuable thing.
Tenali Rama, your intelligence is beyond comparison. Vijayanagara should be very lucky to have you. And your punishment is?
Oh Lord!
You're not supposed to take leave even for a single day.
Your Majesty?
Yes, Tenali. No work is complete without you in this royal court. What can I do?
Dear children, however difficult the situation may be, observe keenly and you will definitely get a solution for it.
It was a very hot summer. The court of King Krishnadevaraya had gathered.
My lord, I would like to visit my village for a few days and stay there. Please permit me, Your Majesty.
Okay, I grant you the permission, but you must come back soon.
I will come back in 15 days, Your Majesty.
Okay, Tenali Rama, but don't stay back home more than that. There are a lot of important decisions that have to be taken, and I want you to be here at that time.
I will be back. Thank you very much.
Days went by, but Tenali did not come back. The king was feeling very sad. He sent soldiers to inquire about Tenali in his village. Meanwhile, the courtiers had instigated the king against Tenali. Tenali Rama came back to the court after a month.
Greetings to my lord.
Tenali, you told you'll be back within 15 days. But what were you doing in your village for so many days?
My lord, during my leave, I had been to a magician and learned some special magic tricks.
What kind of magic did you learn?
This is a wonderful magic. By this magic, I can make wells and canals disappear, Your Majesty.
Tenali, what is this rubbish? How can anyone make wells and canals disappear?
Yes, my lord. If all of you are prepared to come with me, I am ready to prove this to you.
Okay, Tenali. Let us all go then.
As you say, Your Majesty.
The next day, Tenali Rama took the king and the other ministers to a village in the Vijayanagar kingdom.
Your Majesty, look over here. In this village, there are supposed to be 7 canals dug according to a minister's record. I have made 4 of them disappear. Now there are only 3 canals left. If you want, you can ask the minister himself as to how many canals were dug.
The king understood the treachery made by the minister in building canals. The minister bowed his head in shame.
Minister, you have not only cheated the people in building canals and digging wells, but you have also been untruthful to me and the royal throne. Who's there? Arrest this minister and lock him up.
My lord, the minister has built the canals properly only in the towns. While digging the canals in the villages, he has cheated and made a lot of money. To investigate this, I had been to the villages to get some proof. That is why I could not come back in 15 days, my lord.
You have done a very good job, Tenali. I'll make all arrangements to dig up canals and wells in all villages immediately. I give you 1,000 gold coins as your reward.
Thanks, my lord.
Children, every officer should do their duty sincerely. If they misuse their power, they will definitely be punished one day.
It was Diwali in Vijayanagar. King Krishnadevaraya wanted to celebrate this Diwali very specially with his people. He called for his minister.
Minister, ask people to decorate their houses beautifully with lamps. The best decorated house will win 10,000 silver coins. Make the announcement immediately.
This announcement spread further excitement among the people of Vijayanagar. Everyone wanted to get the prize for himself. On Diwali night, King Krishnadevaraya went around the city with his minister and Tenali Raman. On passing by a house, the king was stopped at the beauty of the lights in that house.
Your Majesty, this house belongs to the diamond merchant Lakshmi Varman. I think that he deserves the prize. Your Majesty, I know of a place where there is only one lamp glowing, but it is equivalent to 1,000 lamps. With your permission, I will show it to you.
A single lamp equal to 1,000 lamps? We'll go right now.
Tenali Raman led the king and the others to the outskirts where there was a simple thatched house. Clear sound of shloka recitation was coming from the hut.
तेजस्विनावतीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Welcome, Your Majesty. Our ashram and these poor children are blessed at your arrival on this great day.
Guruji, I appreciate your service very much. Your teaching pressed the light of knowledge to these children.
Your Majesty, do you see that single lamp lit up here next to that Guruji? This is the special lamp that I told you about. This single lamp equals 1,000 lamps. Many students have studied here in this light of knowledge, Your Majesty.
Tenali, I agree with what you say. Surely knowledge is the true light for any man. I declare the prize to this ashram which hosts this special lamp.
The king handed over the bag of silver coins to the Guruji. The children showed their happiness by clapping their hands.
Dear children, do you understand that education is more important, so study well and be happy?
One day, Tenali Raman arrived in the royal court holding a gold box. The box was studded all over with gems and precious stones. Looking at the box, the king wondered at its beauty.
This is an exquisite and rather expensive box. Where did you get it from?
I didn't buy it. It was presented to me, Your Majesty.
Which king presented you with such an expensive box?
Not a king, Your Majesty, just an ordinary officer. That too, just a tax collector in our kingdom.
What? An ordinary tax collecting officer? Tenali, give me more details.
Not only me, Your Majesty, But many other ministers, officers, and other courtesans of our kingdom were presented with this box in his son's marriage.
Tenali, but why is he gifting it to our courtesans?
He is collecting high tax amounts from the citizens of our kingdom. To continue doing this without any opposition, he is bribing our ministers with these kinds of precious boxes, Your Majesty.
What is this nonsense? Tenali, tomorrow we shall visit the tax officer in disguise. If your words are proven wrong, you shall be severely punished.
Every time you say the same thing, Your Majesty. But always you present me with lots of gifts at the end.
So the next day, King Krishnadevaraya and Tenali Raman visited the tax officer in disguise.
Hurry up, give me 10 gold coins.
But why are you asking me for 10 gold coins when I am supposed to pay only 5?
How dare you stand in front of me and ask for justice? If you hesitate to pay me 5 coins more, I will arrest you for a false crime. Give me the money and get out of my sight.
Is there no minister to question this officer?
Even the minister gets a share in this. Don't open your mouth or you will be in deep trouble. Instead of paying 5 coins, you will be in jail for 5 years. Make it fast.
King Krishnadevaraya and Tenali were watching all this from a distance. Then they went near the tax officer. But the tax officer did not identify the king.
Hey, why are you not in line? Discipline is the most important thing for all citizens.
My lord, when the government itself is in corruption, how can you expect discipline from the citizens?
Who's that? Talking so arrogantly in front of me? You should pay 15 coins, otherwise you'll find yourself in jail.
Do you know who I am?
I am not bothered about your identity. Give me the money.
Can't you still recognize me?
Your Majesty, please forgive me. I've done all this unknowingly.
You have done all this wantedly. You have taken advantage of the powers given to you.
I can forgive anybody, but not officers like you who take advantage of the powers. Who's there? Put him in prison.
The king then presented Tenali with a pearl necklace and congratulated him.
Children, every officer should do their duty sincerely. If they misuse their power, they will definitely be punished one day. So, be sincere always.
One day, the royal court was in progress and a serious matter was being discussed, but Tenali Raman was yawning with boredom. The king spotted Tenali.
Tenali, is royal court your bedroom? It seems that you are not taking interest in the work here. There is no need for you here. Go away from the royal court at once. This is no place for your laziness.
Your wish, Your Majesty. I'll do as you say.
Your Majesty, see how casual he is. Even your words have no effect on him. Please do not let him enter this royal court hereafter.
You are right. For this kind of attitude, he deserves a punishment like this.
For days, Tenali did not come out to the royal court. On the 10th day, a tribal youth came into the royal court.
Your Majesty, I am the disciple of sage Gangadhar. Some time back, your courtesan Tenali came to stay with us in our ashram in our village. Today morning, he went to the river for a bath. He slipped and was swept away with the flowing water.
Is it so? You saved him, right?
No, Your Majesty. As the water was flowing swiftly, we could not even find his body. Sage Gangadhar asked me to convey you this news in person.
My dear Tenali, my dear friend, why did you leave me and go?
Your Majesty, we are so sad to hear this news. Tenali was a great learned man. No one can equal his intelligence. We did not realize his value. His laws can never be compromised in our kingdom.
Yes, now you tell like this. You were the one who told me not to allow Tenali Raman inside the royal court, didn't you? Oh boy, I would like to meet Sage Gangadhar and speak to him about Tenali. Will I be able to meet him?
Yes, Your Majesty. I will lead you there.
Swami, greetings. I'm very glad that you hosted my Tenali in his last few days in your ashram. But, why did you not save him?
What can I do, Your Majesty? No one can overcome destiny. That is what happened to Tenali Raman as well.
No, Swami. I am the one who's at fault. I am the one who scolded Tenali and sent him out of my royal court unnecessarily. That is why he decided to come here and went to bathe in the river, which made him fall inside and die. Oh God!
Don't grieve over his loss. What is gone is gone. Proceed with your work now.
Swami, will I be able to see the place where my Tenali last stood? I would like to pay him my last salutations now. Oh, I won't see him anymore.
Don't worry, Your Majesty. If you want him so much, then you can meet him now. Please close your eyes and meditate. Now open your eyes, Your Majesty.
The king saw Tenali and started smiling. He embraced him with affection.
Where did you go, my friend? You made me suffer a lot. Okay, where is the sage Gangadhar?
Your Majesty, I am the sage and I am Tenali.
Dear children, anger makes us blind. So don't get angry with anyone. Be kind to all your friends and relatives.
It was spring in Vijayanagar. The whole kingdom was filled with beautifully blooming flowers. The lakes were full of water. The waterfalls were beautiful to look upon. The orchards were filled with trees bearing ripe fruits. The birds were busy collecting their food. The people of Vijayanagar enjoyed the lovely spring season. One day, a discussion about the season began in the royal court. A minister suggested,
Your Majesty, Mother Nature has beautified our kingdom. We must go out and enjoy horse rides in this great weather.
I too had the same wish. God has given us eyes to enjoy the beauty of nature. Be prepared to leave tomorrow morning.
The next day, King Krishnadevaraya, some ministers and courtiers went for horse riding in the nearby woods. Tenali Rama rode very slowly. Just then, the king's eyes fell upon a rose bush. Fresh red roses were growing and they were looking beautiful swaying in the breeze. The king got down from his horse. He liked the place very much.
They look lovely. Such beauty and fragrance. What are they trying to say?
Certainly only one thing. Like their fragrance has spread all over the forest, your name and fame will spread all over the world. This is what they are trying to say, Your Majesty.
Yes, Your Majesty. The purity of these flowers is similar to your kindness. It is because of your generosity that our kingdom is filled with such beautiful flowers.
Soon, all the other ministers and courtiers joined in to praise the king. The king became very happy. All this time, Tenali Rama had not said a single word. He stood looking at the rose bush.
What, Tenali Rama? Why don't you say something?
Your Majesty, I think Tenali Raman is jealous when you are praised. That is why he stays quiet.
No, Your Majesty. Even I can sing praises of these beautiful roses. And sing praises of your glory in magnitude too. But amidst these beautiful roses, there are some thorns too. Did you notice that?
Tenali, what message are you trying to convey?
Hey, Tenali, what are you doing? What are you doing? Leave me, give it to me.
Your Majesty, please read that. It is written by our enemy, our neighboring king.
To Bala Singh, bring your King Krishnadevaraya to the rose bushes often, so that at this time we can loot the kingdom. If you act accordingly, you will be paid half the stolen things. Signed, King Martandan.
Please forgive me, Your Majesty. Please. I have done all these mistakes for the sake of money.
What you have done is a great sin. You have tried to cheat the royal throne. Arrest him and put him in prison. Tenali Rama, you have opened my eyes to reality. You have made us all understand that our country's security comes much before any other pleasure.
Dear children, wherever you may go, beware of all that is going on around you. Do not get trapped in any kind of situation.
Come on, little bunnies. Give thumbs up for the video, share with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more awesome videos.